I'm Melissa Field. I've been teaching pre and postnatal yoga now for about 13 years, and I recently gave birth to a beautiful boy called Banjo. So from my teaching experience and my own postnatal recovery, I've got some tips today to help you get back into your general yoga classes postnatally. Tip 1, initiate each and every movement with your breath. By focusing on consciously breathing, not only are you helping yourself to relax, but you're also helping with healing any abdominal separation and strengthening those muscles to support your lower back. Tip 2, postnatally, we want to bring everything back together. In pregnancy, we were making space for baby and helping to open up the pelvis to deliver our babies, but postnatally, we're bringing everything back together. So rather than going wide, we want to have a narrower stance in all our standing forward bends, our seated forward bends, and our standing postures. Because of the relaxin hormone, things are still a little bit wobbly. So to help with recovery, especially if you still have any pelvic pain, then it's best to keep things close. Tip 3, in all your standing poses, always have the knees a little bit soft, so you're not locking the knees out. This will ensure good posture to help realign the spine and the pelvis. Tip 4, avoid doing full plank in your sun salutations. We want to make sure that we have good core control and also good shoulder organization, so that is the shoulders aren't up near the ears or rolling forward before we start playing around with doing that again in the practice. So instead, try kneeling chatturanga. So rather than being in your full plank, you're going to drop to the knees, draw the belly button in towards the spine, and keep the ribs and the hips connected. As you exhale, you're lowering down, being mindful of the belly popping or the shoulders shrugging and coming all the way down onto your tummy. So if that is too strong, you could also modify it by doing it on all fours. So with the shoulders over the wrists, the knees below the hips, draw the navel to the spine, soften the elbows, and come as far forward as you can before the shoulders want to shrug or the belly or the ribs want to pop. So some of the common mistakes I see in class with chaturanga is letting the belly pop, so losing that tummy control, or letting the ribs flare. So we want to draw the ribs in as if there's a stitch holding them together and draw the navel in towards the spine. So for example, if you're in your kneeling plank and you're starting to lower and you feel your belly pop or the ribs flare, you've gone too far. So only go as far as you can with control and then collapse to the floor with control, of course. So what you want to avoid doing is slithering like a snake. So we're focusing on lowering down like a plank of wood. Tip 5, avoid any lumbar extension. So that is no upward facing dog, no bridge, no camel, etc. The reason that we avoid these poses is because of abdominal separation. So if the abdominals are separated, then there's no support for the lower back, so you're going to aggravate any lower back pain, and you're also going to make the separation worse, which is going to be much harder to heal in the long run. So instead, we focus on thoracic extension. So as a new mum, we spend so much time in flexion, so we're leaning over our beautiful baby, gazing at them, feeding them, etc. So at the end of the day, all we want to do is open up through those chest and shoulders so we have really good posture. So cobra can be done really badly, so I'm just going to give you a few tips. So after we come to the floor from chaturanga, we let the legs and the buttocks be soft, so we don't want any hip extension, so the legs aren't floating off the floor. Pubic bone and hip bones are heavy, and the belly button's lifted as if there's a little ice cube underneath and you don't want it to melt. We press down through the hands, we lift the forehead, the chin and the chest, and we shine the heart forward, keep those ribs heavy. So we're not coming up into a half upward facing dog, which clenches the buttocks, which leads to hip extension. We keep that buttocks soft. So you're coming to the base of the bra line, creating that arc from the crown of the head to the bra line. And then it's always better, rather than going straight back to downward dog like so. In that extension, it's better to go from your cobra, come all the way back down, connect the ribs to the hips so the belly's drawing in, and then focus on reversing your push-up with control, so not letting the belly pop, and then curl the toes under, lift the knees, and push the hips up and back into your downward facing dog. Tip 6, avoid any inversions apart from poses such as passive legs up the wall. The reason being, it can cause too much intra-abdominal pressure and can be too much for any pelvic floor weakness. So it's best to work up to that. So for now, just stick with legs up the wall, which will be amazingly rejuvenating and make you feel very relaxed. Just grab your eye pillow, pop it on, and chill out here. Here you're still getting all the benefits of an inversion.